Since going viral in 2017, Salt Bae went from serving legends like Conor McGregor, Leonardo DiCaprio, and Messi, was charging over £1,000 for a single steak, to now losing over 100,000 followers a month, facing multiple restaurant closures, and getting kicked out of major sporting events. So how did Salt Bae's empire collapse so fast? This is the downfall of Salt Bae and how he destroyed his own career. Salt Bae first exploded onto the internet on January 7th, 2017, after posting a clip of himself slicing an Ottoman steak and sprinkling salt by letting it fall dramatically down his forearm onto the meat. The video racked up over 560,000 likes on Instagram and pushed him past 1 million followers within just a few days. Salt Bae immediately seized the moment, launching several luxury steakhouses in Dubai and New York, and eventually expanding to even more locations. But soon after, he found himself in his first controversy, when a 2016 Instagram post of him posing as former Cuban President Fidel Castro resurfaced. The post stirred major backlash because Fidel Castro was widely viewed as a dictator, and many felt Salt Bae was celebrating his legacy right after his death. Some people just don't think to post pics like this and then open a restaurant in Miami. Really? I just called and cancelled 2 reservations and told them exactly how I feel about their salt guy and his post. But just as that controversy began to cool down, Salt Bae was hit with another one. In September 2018, a video of him serving food to Venezuelan President Nicolas Maduro at his Istanbul restaurant sparked massive criticism, especially because Venezuela was facing severe food shortages at the time. As a Venezuelan, it angers me to see my president feasting on a meal while my family and I were starving. Shame on him. I cannot believe this video. This guy eating tomahawk steaks or whatever that is, and people from his country dying of hunger. I don't know who this weirdo Salt Bae is, but the man he's proudly hosting is not the president of Venezuela. He's the overweight dictator of a nation where 30% of the people eat only once a day, and infants are suffering from malnutrition. The backlash grew so intense that protests even broke out at his Miami restaurant.
For me, it's actually a show of mocking our people. It's a way of mocking our people. It's a way of making fun. They are actually showing how they don't have or they don't suffer from the crisis, and Venezuelans they do.
We are protesting right now because we are very safe. We need to show everybody that we don't understand why this guy has this restaurant in this size.
That same month, a fire stunt meant to entertain diners at one of his restaurants in Turkey went horribly wrong, injuring 4 people, including influencer Tines Tinakova, who suffered severe burns and life-altering injuries.
Oh my God! Ah!
Salt Bae never addressed the accident or offer any apology to the injured victims. Things only got worse when reports of mistreatment inside Salt Bae's restaurants began to surface. A lawsuit was filed against his company, with claims including forcing staff to pretend there were long queues outside his London restaurant during slow periods to create the illusion of high demand, employees living in constant fear of being fired at any moment, and accusations of discrimination. In 2019, Salt Bae paid $230,000 to settle another lawsuit after 4 former restaurant workers claimed that he was withholding their tips and fired them when they complained. Salt Bae denied the allegations, saying, "I don't take a share of employees' tips. I've never done that in any of my restaurants. I was not satisfied with the performance of the 4 employees. They didn't meet my standards, so I terminated their contracts immediately." Their sense of revenge came into play. After being fired, they acted out and made these tip allegations. Despite the high prices in his restaurants, many customers felt that they were lied to about the steak quality.
A few minutes after, the $2,000 steak arrived, and it was not what we expected. For $2,000, I gotta say, I thought it would be way bigger. Right after, the tomahawk arrived. That was rare, even though we ordered medium rare. Now, there's nothing wrong with rare steak, but if you order medium rare, you should get what you paid for.
With the London restaurants receiving 2.8-star reviews and many customers describing the food as underwhelming and overpriced. Unfortunately, expectations for this place were high, and instead it was all a flop. Sad place, no vibes, prices as you know high, food in the norm. Sorry, but I don't think it's worth going back. Overpriced and mediocre cuisine. If this clown focused more on building a good restaurant rather than a pathetic meme persona, maybe someone would still consider him relevant in the world of dining. I can cook a better meat on a Sunday barbecue for 1/10 of the price. 100% avoid. The London restaurant's struggles went even further. It was ranked as one of the worst restaurants in the entire country. And then came the public humiliation that crushed Salt Bae's reputation and became the final nail. On December 18, 2022, after Argentina won the World Cup, Salt Bae stormed onto the pitch, snatched the World Cup trophy from Lisandro Martinez,
Man, that guy's face really tells the whole story. That discomfort. Faking a smile, but his eyes are just beyond annoyed. Wondering who is this guy, and why is he squeezing on my hand and trying to grab the trophy from me?
relentlessly pestered Messi for a selfie. And even bit players' medals.
Biting on his medal there. I'm sure he really liked that. A guy that he is not friends with, doesn't even really know, coming out of nowhere for a photo op and then surprising biting on the medal. Though I guess in Salt Bae's defense, the medal does look a bit like a waffle, so maybe he got a little confused. Maybe he was hungry.
He was holding the World Cup trophy like he owned it. Not only that, he was grabbing it out of players' hands, not even asking politely to hold it. Definition of cringe I couldn't even watch. FIFA launched an investigation into how Salt Bae even gained access to the pitch, and he was eventually banned from all future events. Salt Bae later explained why he decided to step onto the field during an interview with The Times, stating, "I love Argentina. I've lived there. I went to support them. Many of the team have come to the restaurant. I didn't feel a stranger. It was a special moment. I can't do anything about the reason I was there, but I would never ever step on the World Cup pitch again. There were 2 billion people watching the World Cup. How many people are speaking about me? 5 billion. The whole world." By September 2024, the London restaurant had already taken a huge hit, reporting a £4.2 million drop in revenue, falling from £13.6 million to £9.3 million, with profits sliding from £3.3 million to £2.2 million. Things got even worse in 2025, as Salt Bae was forced to close nearly all of his US steakhouses, leaving just 2 locations still operating. On top of his failing restaurants, Salt Bae's antics continued to haunt him. In 2025, he was publicly kicked out of a stadium after trying to recreate his infamous FIFA World Cup stunt. Now all of these actions finally came crashing down on him. The controversies, the lawsuits, the stadium incidents, the FIFA cringe, everything has taken a serious toll on his brand. For the last 20 months, Salt Bae's Instagram has been losing thousands of followers every single month.